This lesson is on 5-6, dilations. A dilation is when you take an object and make it either bigger or smaller, kind of like when an eye doctor dilates your eyes to make them bigger so that they can look into them better. So the objective of this lesson is to learn to identify and create dilations of plane figures. A dilation is just a transformation that changes the size but not the shape of a figure. When you draw lines that connect each pair of corresponding vertices, the lines intersect at one point. This point is known as the center of dilation. So how are we going to do this? Let's look at this number 1 here. What it's asking us to do is to tell whether each transformation is a dilation and why or why not it. So when you do that, what you need to do is you need to compare the ratios of corresponding side lengths. So like if we look at the length BC, we're going to compare it to B prime, C prime, because that's the corresponding side. BC is going to be 2 units long. B prime, C prime is 6 units long. When you simplify that ratio, we get 1/3. So now we need to take that and compare it to another one. So let's compare that to AD. We got AD and A prime D prime. Now AD is 2 units long. A prime D prime is 6 units long. So again, those lengths, the ratio is 1/3. Since both ratios are the same, 1/3 and 1/3, then the answer is yes. This is a dilation because the ratios are the same. So let's look at number 2. Number 2, we're going to do the same thing here. Compare the ratios of corresponding side lengths. So let's try to compare AB to A prime B prime. Let's see, AB is going to be 4 units long. A prime B prime is 2 units long. So that's going to be 2. Okay, now we got to check another one. So let's try AC and A prime C prime. AC is 5 units long. A prime C prime is 3 units long. Now when you divide this out, it's actually 1.66. So then since these have 2 different ratios, the answer would be no. It is not a dilation because the ratios are not the same. So why don't you pause the video and do number 3 on your own. If you did it correctly, you should have gotten a ratio of 1/2 and a ratio of 3/4. Since these ratios are not the same, then no, it is not a dilation. So let's look at number 4. Number 4 is asking us to dilate the figure by a scale factor of 2. What are the vertices of the new image? So what we're going to do here is we're going to write down what is our original point. So first off we have A is 2, 2, B is 4, 2, and C is 2, 4. Now when we're trying to find a scale factor of 2, all you need to do is multiply both x and y by your 2. So you're going to have 2 times 2 and 2 times 2. And then you'll have 4 times 2 and 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 and 4 times 2. So when you get done, you should have A prime is 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4. B prime, 4 times 2 is 8, 2 times 2 is 4. And C prime, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So these are going to be our new points that we're going to plot on here to draw our dilation. So I've got a point at 4, 4, 8, 4, and 4, 8. Now I can connect those and that is going to be my dilated shape with A prime, B prime, and C prime. Now what do you do when you're dilating it by a half or by 0.5? Well, just like when you find half of something, you can either multiply by 1/2 or by 0.5 or divide by 2. So what we're going to do first is we're going to write down our original points. A is 4, 5. B is 8, 5. And C is 4, 9. So now what we're going to do here is we're just going to take half of each of these. So 4 divided by 2, 5 divided by 2, 8 divided by 2, 5 divided by 2, 4 divided by 2, and 9 divided by 2. So when we do that, we're going to end up with A prime is going to be 2, 2.5. B prime is going to be 4, 2.5. And C prime is going to be 2, 4.5. So now when we plot these points, 2, 2.5, 2.5 is just going about halfway up, about right there. 4, 2.5, and 2, 4.5. And then I can connect those dots. And that's going to be my A prime, B prime, and C prime. So why don't you go ahead, pause the video, and you can decide whether or not this is a dilation or not. So remember to set up your ratios. You're going to set up a ratio of like AB to A prime, B prime. Figure out what that ratio is. And then your other sides that you know are BC and B prime, C prime. So find those ratios and determine whether or not this is a dilation or not. If you're now done with number 6, we're going to move on to number 7. Number 7, you need to dilate the figure by a scale factor of 2. What are the vertices of the image? So remember, just write down your A, B, C, and a scale factor of 2 means you're just going to multiply everything by 2. When you're done, go ahead and put it away and show me later, and we will make sure we get that marked down.